Moreover, the Lord spake again unto Ahaz, saying, Ask thee a sign of the Lord thy God, ask it either in the depth or in the height above. But Ahaz said, I will not ask, neither will I tempt the Lord. And he said, Hear ye now, O house of David, is it a small thing for you to weary men, but will ye weary my God also? Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Matthew chapter 1 verse 23. Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is God with us. Revelation chapter 12 verse 1, And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Revelation chapter 12 verse 2, And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered. Job chapter 38 verse 32, Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season? Or canst thou guide Arcturus with his son? Would you know the connection between Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14, Matthew chapter 1 verse 23, Revelation chapter 12 verse 1, Revelation chapter 12 verse 2, and Job chapter 38 verse 32? There seems to be no connection, isn't it? However, what we want to show you right now is something absolutely incredible. And if you have appreciated the study that we have done so far with 144,000 teachers, you will really appreciate this particular study. And this is again from 144,000 teachers, the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. We have entered now day number 10 of our 12-day conference, and this one is called No Deception. And it has to do with the study of the Mazzaroth and the second coming. As we look into this particular section in the menu, and you can enter then with the section number 11 in this case, because there were more days that we were doing other studies, you will see that we will have a presentation on the Mazzaroth Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. And they're fairly new studies and research with very old books, very beautiful books that has instructed us in an amazing direction. And the Bible speaks about the Mazzaroth, but so many people have never really discovered it. So we intend with these 3 volumes, these 3 studies, that you will have a glance, a touch of the beauty of the Mazzaroth. The heavens declare the glory of God, new light in the Mazzaroth, the great controversy, the Creator's character vindicated at last. And what you will find in the Mazzaroth is that there are prophecies in the Mazzaroth, which is his works, and revealed in the sanctuary, which is his word. So this is the Mazzaroth, and this is the sanctuary. In Psalm 147, verses 4 and 5, it says, He telleth the numbers of the stars. He calleth them all by their names. Great is our Lord, and of great power. His understanding is infinite. So as we introduce you, you will see the whole study of the Volume 1 and the connection, finally, between Isaiah, Matthew, Revelation, and Job. In the first volume, we intend to show you something that perhaps you have never been aware of. Not only, as we saw in the previous study, the biblical calendar has been changed throughout history, and this was according to a prophecy in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 25, that Satan proposed to change the time of worship in order for himself to be worshipped. But not only that, he proposed to change something that was very, very known in the past, and it's called actually the first book. The Mazzaroth was actually in the sky before the Torah or the Bible ever came in the hands of man. And we know that the Torah was written by Moses. And then when we follow through with this study, you will discover that everything that is revealed in the Bible is revealed to the Mazzaroth. We're going to bring you here to the page that we would like to show you particularly for this study, and you will learn more how is the Mazzaroth ever was changed. And here is the Mazzaroth is made up of 3 books, and we will show that to you. And it's made up of cardinal constellation as well as deacon constellation, and you will see that in the future volumes. And it's particularly interesting because as the Mazzaroth has 3 books, the sanctuary has 3 compartments. And we can see here the plan of creation, redemption, and true education that are one. You will not want to miss that study. It's magnificent. Then we'll just draw you to one more page, and then we will see that you see every single page as we present the study. But you need to see this. The Mazzaroth used to contain 48 ancient constellations. Over the years, over the centuries, it was changed, and now it is claimed that it has 88 constellations. But we will show you throughout the study that this was man-made. This was not according to God, because we just saw in the psalm how it's the Lord himself who he gave the number to the star, and he called them all by their name. So man cannot come and add an extra 40 constellation and it will be part of the same. It's not. We're not saying anything about who did it and why they did it. We're simply saying that the Mazzaroth, the original one, was composed of 48 constellations, of which were made up of 12 cardinal and 36 deacon. So this is the first volume to give you a start. And then we will go now to volume 2. And the study is much longer than what we're doing here for our opening, but we'll be sure that you will listen carefully and you will understand it. You will see. So the heavens again declare the glory of God, new light in the Mazzaroth, the number and names of the star. And again, this is to be studied. We have a beautiful psalm that we know all. The Psalm 19 verse 1, the heavens declare the glory of God. Glory means his character, and the heavens vindicate his character. So this is the wonderful, wonderful study. It's a fairly new study. It's one of our youngest, I suppose. It's about a year old. And it's a beautiful, beautiful study. And you will see, we will bring you now to another page just of interest, which we have just drawn your attention to it. And this is what is so important about this study, because the 3 books in the Mazzaroth represent his works of creation, and the 3 compartments in the sanctuary represent his word, the plan of redemption. So the whole of this particular volume, you will find now, you will study the cardinal constellation. We will introduce you first to the 3 books, and per constellation, 12 of them, and there we also studied not only the Greek name, but we are also teaching it with the Hebrew name. And then we will show you all of the division of the first book, second book, third book, and the beautiful cardinal constellation and their name. And then we will also show you the meaning of them. This is the part that is so amazing when you start studying in depth, and it shows you exactly how it's prepared. It's just as amazing as the sanctuary and also the Bible. As you saw in the book of Isaiah, which is a mini Bible, you will see here that the book of the Mazzaroth are very revealing, and still in the light of the second coming. You will see. And now we're going to pass quickly to the 3rd volume, because we don't want to declare everything before you take the research for yourself in our study. So this is volume number 3. And again, we'll just scroll it slowly. Before we pass, we just want to show you that we're bringing you back to Revelation chapter 12 here. The woman, the crown of 12 stars, and the dragon. you will discover that we just read that scripture actually. There appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and under her head a crown of 12 stars. And in case you probably knew, but if you didn't know, the word Mazzaroth himself means a crown, or also beautiful when you put a garland around your head. So this woman as is clothed with the sun, the moon is under her feet, and has a garland of the Mazzaroth around her head of 12 stars. Isn't that beautiful? So you will study that in this volume number 3. What is it all about? That the Creator telleth the number of the stars and given them all their names. So they have a number. Each one of the constellation have a number, as you will see. And where are they found? In the Mazzaroth, which is divided in 3 books, just like the sanctuary is divided in 3 compartments. This is a very important to learn. If you have never studied the Mazzaroth, that's where you start. The Mazzaroth and the sanctuary. We are the teachers of the sanctuary. So we're going to carry you now quickly to the page number 8, because we want to show you something special that we have prepared. You will see all those pages one by one, but we are bringing you here. First of all, we're also going to show you the method to study the Mazzaroth and to teach it, because do not forget, you are being prepared to be lifestyle educator. You are being prepared to be teachers. And we do not teach students ever. We always have taught teachers. And we are preparing teacher to teach. So basically, you will see here the first page. We showed you first the cardinal constellation. But in the 3rd volume now, we will introduce you to not only the cardinal constellation in their books, but we will introduce you also to their deacon. So every cardinal constellation has 3 deacon per constellation. So you start here with Betula Virgo, and you will see why, because even that in history has been changed, the way to study the Mazzaroth. It is also called a planisphere when you study it from astronomy. And we do show a planisphere in the 1st volume, and it's identical. But the Mazzaroth is actually studying the sky, but for a much greater purpose than simply the study of astronomy and time, which is beautiful. But then it extends to much further. And we bring you here to the real secret of the Mazzaroth. The Mazzaroth, once you studied it carefully, it took us a number of years to come to this conclusion, and having many research. It was complicated at first, because if you follow anything to do with zodiac and horoscope and that, this is astrology. This has nothing to do with this. The true Mazzaroth, and especially when you work with the Hebrew, we have brought all the names in Hebrew. This we have done a research, and changing this name from the Greek to the Hebrew, it makes a lot of sense. So you have here Virgo, Betula, Libra, Mo's name, and then you have Scorpio, Aquave, and Sagittarius, Cachette, etc. All of them, they're named after their Greek and Hebrew name. And of course, we know the meaning of them, so which makes it even more beautiful. So we have a lot to learn from the Hebrew economy. Never, never reject your teachers. This teaching is from the Hebrew economy. And they were given great, great gift. You start with Noah after the flood. Adam and Eve really knew about this. And the people before the flood knew about this. And then it came to Noah, and then it was passed on to Abraham, until it came to Moses, and the Lord through Moses gave us the Bible and the Torah. And now we're presenting you both together. So now we have the story of redemption in the sanctuary, and the Torah, we could say, is also the story. Well, so is the Torah, but the story of the Genesis. But this is really the plan of creation. This is the plan of redemption, but then they combine. So you'll see, for example, book number 1 and 2. It's based actually on the feast. So you can recognize when you start with Betula, the virgin, the desired child of all nations, and then it goes from there. You will see that we have included the feast, Passover, unleavened bread, and first fruit. And then it brings you to Pentecost. And this is representative of the first coming and the second coming. So it's carried all the way here. So here is the first coming with the first and the second book. And then when we get to the fall feast and all the biblical months are indicated here under the deacon. Then you enter into the second coming and the third coming. So you didn't know where the Mazzaroth fits with our study of the coming. Well, the three coming, the first, second, and third coming of Messiah, they're actually found in the sky. They're actually found with the stars, with the cardinal constellation and deacon constellation. So we hope that you appreciate this study. It's totally different maybe than what you have ever studied. And by the grace of God, we stand by it. It's totally biblical. It's totally kosher. It's totally halal, whatever word you want to say for clean and pure. And it's definitely something that you will not want to miss. At least look at it and see if these things are so. So this is what we have to show you for this beautiful study. And if you have again appreciated the other study, and you can see that we, as much as possible, give you your reference for your perusal so you can check what we're teaching. You don't have to believe it, just at least listen and check it out and see if this restoration, this is a repairing of the breach and the restoration of the path to dwell in. And the Mazzaroth was the first book. Before any other book were written, the Mazzaroth was in the sky already, written by the very end of the Creator, where he gives us the whole plan of salvation from the spring feast to the fall feast and carry us through all the way to the third coming. And all these constellations, those are called the cardinal on both sides here, and then their deacons, they all have a story to tell. And in this study, we will take time to show it to you. So this is definitely a gift from the heavenly sanctuary above and from the Creator above. And we hope and pray that you will enjoy it and appreciate it. And we just want you to have all the peace that you need at this time and the quietness of the spirit, because it needs a lot of prayer and maybe fasting in order to appreciate this light. And this is not just precious truth, it's present truth. Again, may the Lord bless you and may he cause his face to shine upon you and give you peace always.